Today I forgot one thing completely. I had to go outside and take pictures of our house for the insurance. And I totally forgot that we're back in mosquito season. So I went out there joyfully taking pictures, and so it suddenly dawned on me that my arms were becoming targets for a certain insect. But there we are. I have a good remedy though. I use witch hazel. You can buy it pretty well anywhere, a drugstore, grocery store, all around. So witch hazel works very well for me. There you are. Today's reading is called In the Space of Not Knowing. And the first quote is from Gilda Radner, who was an American actress, comedian. She was actually part of Saturday Night Live for about 5 years in the 1975 to 1980, I believe. And she says, life is about not knowing, having to change, taking the moment and making the best of it. This is the kicker, without knowing what's going to happen next. That's the kicker. And Ernest Holmes says, I live in the faith that there is a presence and a power greater than I am that nurtures and supports me in ways I couldn't even imagine. I know this presence is all-knowing and all-powerful and is always right where I am. Holmes believed that, in fact, the phrase he used a lot was, there is a power greater than you are, right where you are right now, and you can use it. And he believed that this was the same power that Jesus used. And of course, Gilda Radner is talking about a different thing. She says, hey, we don't always know what's going to happen next. Kind of like Indiana Jones when he steps over that chasm and there's nothing there. And then once he makes the decision to step out, this bridge magically appears and he walks across it, or runs across it. And this is from Diana Ensign, our writer. She says, years ago, my stepfather phoned to say my mother had suffered a stroke and was in the emergency room. I live in another state, a 7-hour ride away. I didn't know how serious the situation might be for my mum. Was she going to recover? Was she going to lose her ability to speak or to walk? Was she going to die? Fortunately, my husband took charge of our travel details. We needed the name and location of the hospital. We needed a place to stay near the hospital. And we needed a change of clothes. My mind seemed incapable of handling even the most basic of logistics. During our drive, the first thing I noticed was my body's reaction. And this was an intense stress headache. I had enough spiritual practice to know that I needed to breathe mindfully. I needed to drink water. I needed to meditate, if possible. And I needed to reach out to a couple of close friends for support. Medical emergencies, whether our own or of our loved ones, can send us reeling. When my mother eventually recovered from her stroke, that extended space of not knowing felt extremely stressful. When riding out life's storms, we need all of our spiritual tools. During turmoil, we don't want to get into an accident or cause ourselves undue harm. At such times, we also need our faith. Faith doesn't mean things always turn out the way that we want them to do. But our faith does mean we are fully supported by an all-knowing presence and a power greater than we are. That presence is right where we are. You know, the strange thing is that when you do what the old expression says, let go and let God, that things just do seem to work out. As I said, they don't always work out the way that we want them to do, but they usually work out. And sometimes they work out better than we could have ever imagined. which is why Bob Proctor and many others have said when you use an affirmation for something specific, end it by saying this or something better. Why? Because that all-knowing presence, that all-knowing spirit is able to see a much broader landscape than we can. It's kind of like the difference between surveyors, right? Surveyors in the old days, for the most part, were at ground level. Sometimes they managed to get up on a hill to see things or climb ladders, climb a pole or something. But by and large, they were at ground level. But nowadays, it's different. They can use drones. They can send a drone up and they can actually see what it looks like from up above. And archaeologists and others use this. Why? Because often you can see the impressions of things that existed long ago that you cannot see from ground level. And I liken this to the idea that there is a power greater than I am, and it can see things way beyond. But also the point of the message is that you can use that power. And Ernest Holmes and many other people, Emma Curtis Hopkins, loads of people involved in the New Thought movement, Mary Baker Eddy, a lot of others, truly believed that this was the power that Jesus used, that Jesus was so in touch with the source of his being that he never had to ask for anything. He could just claim it because he knew that that power would deliver to him what it was that he claimed, because he had gone, in my view, one step beyond, but he'd gone one step beyond faith, one step beyond belief. He'd gone into knowingness. Yes, faith tells you, yes, I believe this is possible, but the knowingness says, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind whatsoever that this is going to come to pass. And truly making that a part of who you are, and then things really start to happen. We're not all at that level, which is why we introduce spiritual mind treatment as a 5-step, or in some cases, a 7-step process, which is unifying with the presence, acknowledging that which is acknowledging that presence, unifying with it, knowing that because we're one with it, that we can claim these things, and then stating what it is that we want, being truly grateful and letting it go, and in faith and knowingness. So anyway, that is my piece today. In the not too distant future, I'll be dashing off to a business meeting, which is why I am probably on, let me see, I'm on Eastern time right now, correct? Oh yeah, funny thing. I had to go to the dentist today for my teeth cleaning. It's supposed to be every 6 months, but for a reason some beyond my control, it kept getting delayed and pushed back. So I got there early. I had to wait about 20 minutes before I actually got attended to. So I'm listening to the receptionist and the lady who does the appointments, and this was about 11:40 a.m. this morning. So I'm there for about 20 minutes waiting to go in to see the hygienist. And she had to call a bunch of people to confirm their appointments, and then she had to call people about prescriptions. But what she said every time was, "Good afternoon." On the way out, when I had to make my next appointments, I couldn't resist saying to her, "Do you realize that you were on Eastern time this morning? You were saying this afternoon to everybody, and it was still morning here." So, but I did it in a nice way. I mean, I didn't chastise her or anything, and she thought it was funny. So we all kind of laughed about it. So Reverend Lisa will be here tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. on Creative Life Spiritual Center's Facebook page, not necessarily on the page that you saw this on. Danielle Mercadal, one of our practitioners, she's off for a couple of weeks, but I do believe she's still going to do her midday meditation tomorrow, also on Creative Life Spiritual Center's Facebook page. If that's where you are right now, no problem. If you're on another page, if you're on another medium, such as Blue Sky, Mastodon, Tumblr, Instagram, you name it, there's a whole bunch of them it goes to, then you need to go to Creative Life Spiritual Center's Facebook page and you will get what I'm talking about. So until next time, just know with me that life is good and that we have a power to turn to and we have a presence to turn to and we have a support community. And I'm knowing that our support community is always available to us whenever we need it. And I know that this is truth. I am very grateful for all of this. And I release my word, letting it go and saying it's done. So